Hi everyone! So today I wanted to do a video about the reasons why I started this YouTube channel and share personal stories from the reasons why I started this YouTube channel, my own personal upbringing and the way that I see money. So if you're interested in learning more about me and the reasons why I started this YouTube channel, make sure you do stick around. So why did I start this YouTube channel? Well, I started this YouTube channel back in March of this year during COVID because honestly, I saw so many people being stood down and a lot of people really struggling financially, and it really broke my heart. I always wanted to do something around personal finance and helping people with their money, and after seeing all of the news and seeing so many people losing their jobs, I felt like now was the perfect opportunity and now was the time that I really should act and do something good. I just felt so grateful that now I'm in a position where I don't have to worry about money anymore. That's the reason why I wanted to start this YouTube channel. I wanted to give people hope and share my own personal experience and stories, so maybe somebody out there will find it useful and be able to learn from my mistakes. So back when I was 19, I moved out of home and life was pretty tough for me at the time. I was working 2 part-time jobs. One was an unpaid internship and one was a telemarketing sales role. And on top of that, I also had full-time uni where I was studying a degree of law and communications. At the time, I was just earning $400 per week and I had absolutely no help from my parents. $400 a week was barely enough to pay for groceries, rent and transport here in Sydney. So I was really struggling. I was living paycheck to paycheck, and part of the reasons why it really affected me when I saw people being stood down was because I realized that if this happened back when I was 19 and I was really struggling at that time, I'm not sure what would have happened to me. So I really wanted to make these videos to help people, and maybe somebody out there will be able to learn from the things that I've learned in my own personal experience. A few years back, I also read this book called Find Your Why by Simon Sinek, and it was honestly life-changing. If you haven't read it already, I really do recommend that you do. I've put a link down in the description below. Through this book, I was able to find my purpose and my why. I did the exercise in the Find Your Why book with my partner, and I discovered what my why was, and this is my why statement: to help people believe in themselves so they have the power to change their lives and then also help others. How I found this was my why, my purpose, was after doing the exercises, I realized that all of the turning points in my life happened because I believed in myself and there was somebody out there who actually believed in me. It sounds really cheesy, but I really do think that even if you just have one person who really believes in you and can give you hope, it can honestly change your life. And the reason why I started this YouTube channel is I wanted to give people hope and I want people to believe in themselves. I started by helping my friends with money, and I wanted to do this on a bigger scale. I'm not the smartest person, I'm not the thriftiest person or the person that is the best with money or knows the most about money. So I really believe that if I can take myself out of a bad situation financially, anyone can do it. I had a really strange upbringing. My parents got divorced when I was really young and my dad ended up getting custody of me. I'm an only child and I was raised by him from a really young age. Part of the court orders was he would have to give up his job in order to take care of me. So that's what he did because he really wanted to be a good dad and be there for me. And thankfully at the time he did have an investment property, so we were able to live off the rent of that property, even though he wasn't able to work. And he was in a position where he had paid off both mortgages, the mortgage of the place we were living in, and then also the mortgage of the investment property. And so the rent from the investment property was the only income that we were receiving, and it was barely enough to pay for all of our necessities. So I guess you could say he was asset rich and cash poor. So when I was growing up, I felt really, really poor. I remember going to school and looking around at all the other kids who had really nice houses and really nice cars and really nice stuff. And I just didn't have any of that. Money was so tight when I was being brought up, and we would rarely go to restaurants to eat out. And if we did go to restaurants, he wouldn't eat any food. Since he wasn't able to work and he only had the income from his investment property, we never had expensive things. We never went on holiday unless it was to see family, and we would stay in their places for free, and we wouldn't do anything that you had to pay for. Whenever we went back to Singapore to see my family, we would only do the free things, so going to parks that were free. When I went on my first holiday that I paid for by myself at 18, I was really shocked because I had no idea that you could actually do tours and paid things and you could have a way better time on holiday, because that's just not how I grew up. And I remember he used to pick me up in this really old beat up car, and it really used to embarrass me, and I just felt really poor. Since growing up like this, I was raised really frugally. I got a job as soon as I could when I was 14, and since that day I've never asked my dad for any money at all, because I really don't see his money as my own money. Even when I was really struggling, and even when I moved out of home when I was 19, I've never asked my dad for money. But despite not being able to go out to restaurants and have expensive cars and go on expensive holidays, I still had a really great childhood. Even though he was on a really modest income, he was still able to pay for my education, and I was still able to go to dancing lessons as well. And any time that I needed books or stationery for school, there would always be money for that. So even though it wasn't much money, it was still enough money to fund the things that were important. But as soon as I could, I did want to get a job so that I could pay for my own things and do what I wanted with money. And honestly, I just felt bad asking money from my dad because I saw how much money meant to him, and I really just hated asking him for money. I'm really grateful for the money lessons that I learned growing up with my dad, and he really did teach me the value of money. I remember sometimes when I was a kid and it would be a really hot day, I would be walking along the street with my dad and I would ask him, "Oh, hey dad, can we get ice cream? It's really hot." And he would say, "No, the convenience store is too expensive. So let's go to the supermarket and buy a whole box of ice cream because it's cheaper." And at the time, it really didn't make sense to me as a kid, but as an adult looking back on those life lessons, it taught me a lot when it comes to money. I guess when you're a kid and you look around at other kids having all of this stuff, you kind of wish that you had that as well. But now being an adult and looking back, I've realized that those things and those materialistic things, they don't really make you happy. All of that really comes from within. And I'm definitely not as frugal as my dad when it comes to money. I do like to spend money on things that make me happy. I do like to go on holidays, and I do like to spend money on experiences that do make me happy. But my dad has definitely influenced the way that I see money and the way that I see value. I guess what I've realized from growing up really frugally is that you can't have everything in life, and sometimes you do need to make sacrifices for the things which are important to you. And growing up really frugally also made me appreciate the small things in life. How did you grow up, and what are your own personal experiences when it comes to money? Let me know in the comments. And since I started my personal finance journey, I started reading books like The Barefoot Investor, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I've made a list of all of my favorite books in a link in the description below. I started implementing the things that I was learning from these books into my life, and slowly but surely my situation and my life started to change. Not only am I more financially free than I was before when I started, but I'm also so much happier now as well. I have an amazing partner and really supportive friends, and I'm able to pursue my passion, which is making videos for you guys. So I think that if there's one thing you can take away from this video, it's that you should really start to pursue your passion and look at the things that you're really passionate about. Whether that be starting a new job or a business, I encourage you to just go ahead and do it. Before I started this YouTube channel, I had so many doubts about whether I should start it or not. Some fears that ran through my mind included, What if people don't like my videos? What if they judge me? What if nobody wants to watch my videos? But it's been the happiest experience of my life. And it's all because of you and the support that you've shown me so far. So I wanted to say thank you so much for supporting me and watching my videos and liking my videos and commenting and subscribing. It honestly means the world to me. Being able to inspire others and communicate with you guys makes all of the work worth it. So if you have an idea or some dream that you want to chase, I recommend that you go ahead and do it. You don't have to make huge leaps to starting your dream. You don't have to invest $100,000 in a new business. You don't have to quit your day job. You just have to make those small little steps. I still have a full-time job, but I still make time to make these videos for you. Work on it on the weekends or even after work. There's always time. I think that the most important thing that you can do is just starting and make small steps towards your dream every day. If you can just get 1% better each day, by the end of the year, you'll be 37 times better than when you started. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it did explain a bit more about me and the reasons why I started this YouTube channel. I would love to know your thoughts and your own personal stories as well. Let me know in the comments, did you have a similar upbringing to me? Were your parents frugal or were they not frugal? And how do you think that that's influenced the way that you see money? And if you did enjoy this video, please make sure you give this video a like. It really helps out my YouTube channel. And if you enjoy videos like this, please consider subscribing. I produce 2 new videos every single week about making money, saving money, and also investing. Thank you. See ya.